Greetings again from the Randolph County School System. My name is Tim Moody. I'm the Public Information Officer. I'm here with our Superintendent, Dr. Stephen Gainey, and this is my TV1's segment of From the Desk of, our July 2016 edition. And we're in the middle of summer, but that certainly doesn't mean there's not a lot going on in the school system. Since the last time that we spoke on camera, I know that we've had a number of administrative announcements, so if you could just kind of update us on some things going on there.
Yeah, Tim, we're going to start the school year with 4 new principals, or 4 schools with new principals next year. Eastern Randolph High School is Greg Batten will be the principal at Eastern. Greg has a lot of experience as a high school principal in this state. He's coming to us from Scotland County. Gail Powers will be the new principal at Southeastern Randolph Middle School. She's coming to us from Nash County. Brian Toth will be the new principal at Trinity High School, and he's returning to us. And he's been at Asheboro City, at Asheboro High School as the principal. He's been a principal in Randolph County School System prior to this time. In fact, another note, Gail Powers is a Southwestern Randolph High School graduate, and Greg Batten has previously been the principal of Southwestern Randolph High School. So for those 3, it's almost kind of a coming home for all 3 of them in a way. And the 4th new principal is somebody I'm very proud of, Anthony Grosh. He's been a teacher in our school system, and his most recent position was he was assistant principal at Archdale Trinity Middle School, and now he's going to be the principal of Uwharrie Middle School. And very excited for Anthony to get a chance to be a principal with us. Very talented individual, as are the other 3, so feel real good about that. With assistant principal positions, we did make about 7 moves. We did those the other week in a June board meeting, and 6 of the individuals in those 7 moves were already with us. One individual did join us from Asheboro City Schools, Cecil Mock. He's going to be an assistant principal at Eastern Randolph High School, and very excited for him to join the administrative team there. He's an Eastern Randolph High School graduate. He has spent some time in the school system, and he has a wealth of knowledge and experience, so very excited there. And then we had some changes in central office that are exciting as we continue to work to get better. We did some reorganization, and so Beth Davis has been the coordinator for Power School. She's now moved over as of July 1 to be the director of accountability and evaluation for us, and she has Power School under her now with the reorganization. Her Power School position has been filled by an individual by the name of Melissa Kidd, who is coming to us from Montgomery County Schools, and Melissa is a Southwest High School graduate. Then Edwina Ashworth is going to be the Director of Administrative Services for Students. She started in that position July 1. She's been Eastern Randolph High School's principal for 2 years, and prior to that, I want to say 3 years as Southwest Randolph Middle School's principal. So excited to have Edwina in that role. Erin Starr is going to be a coordinator in student services. She has been a counselor at Trendale Elementary. And then a couple other staff members that have joined us. Shannon Morris is now our new administrative assistant in HR, and Sarah Bowling is an administrative assistant over on the curriculum side of the central office. She's going to be in that role, working with everybody in the building adjacent to us. So very excited about the changes, and also we've had a lot of continuity this summer, so we've had a lot of time to work with individuals because we hadn't had too much change, and so excited about moving into the 16-17 school year with these changes and the amount of continuity we've been able to have this summer.
So you talked about the principals, and as timing would have it, we have a principals meeting today. So our new principals, I guess it will be their first principals meeting. As we speak, they're in job alikes, but this afternoon we'll pull everyone together with the directors here from central office and with yourself, of course, and with our leadership team. So what happens at a principals meeting? What's sort of the things that come out of that, and as we prepare for a new school year?
Well, this is the principal meeting that really, I enjoy them all, but this one's one that the principals asked for a couple years ago. They wanted one in the middle of the summer so they could get some information and not get it all at what we call really the kickoff one of August, at the beginning of August. We'll have a big meeting August 3rd with the principals, assistant principals, and central office directors. But they asked after the summer of 14, they said, can we have one in the middle of the summer, just get some information so we can start making more plans. And so today we'll give them some preliminary information and some stuff that we don't want to hold till August, and just an exciting time to get them all together. It gets them looking more towards 16-17, which I know they've been doing all summer with hiring and making schedule plans and all, but just be excited to have them all together. So they've been this morning already. They've been in their levels, and then we're going to meet with them as a big group in the afternoon.
2 days ago, on July 18th, we had our monthly Board of Education meeting. A number of things came out of that meeting, but it was interesting to see one of our departments showcased, and that was our Career and Technical Education program. So many good things are happening there, and I know you're excited about some of the things. Would you take a moment and just sort of update us on reasons to be excited about the CTE program?
Well, CTE is a program that is, in my opinion, in the last 15 years just taken off in North Carolina, and the reason it has grabbed children's attention in the schools, it's just changed, and there's rigor, there's special interest of students are addressed in CTE, there's hands-on opportunities, there's direct application opportunities for these children, and I just applaud the state for the push they've made with the career technical education programs. Nancy did a great job, and I failed to mention that, but Nancy is now the director of career technical education. Prior to that, she was an administrator. She's been leading that program for probably, I want to say, a year and a half. I can't exactly remember when she moved to that role. Maybe it's been 2 years now, if I think about it. But we did elevate her to a director because of there's been tremendous work there and expansion of those programs, and so she went across the whole program, and anybody that watched that presentation has to feel good about what's going on with children, from what the career development coordinators are doing at school level, what the teachers in those programs are doing at school level, what Nancy's visionary leadership is doing, whether it's ag or it's business programs or it's advanced manufacturing or health sciences or your foods classes. We have the Academy for Tourism out at Trinity High School. I'm just thinking about what has happened in the last 2 or 3 years, and then also the great foundation that was here before I even arrived that set the stage for some of this expansion. So we have children being recognized at national level and for their great work. So it's an exciting time for CTE, and I only believe that program's going to grow, and it's going to continue to grow, and it's going to be driven by the children's interest. They're interested in these programs, and we've had several barn expansion projects in the last couple of years, and it's just, so the ag programs are strong. I just think it's an exciting time for our school system, because it's these kind of programs that really meet the needs of kids, because kids are yearning for, they want to learn, but they also want to apply what they're learning. If you watch them with the technology, that's why technology's grabbed all these children, because they can take what they've learned and immediately start applying it. And the technology's there in the CTE programs, and there's technology and non-technology in some of these programs, and it's just exciting to watch.
Right. Well, the CTE program has got that obvious link between the education community and the business community, and you think about the bringing together of those two entities. I mean, we have businesses who sponsor events. Certainly, they donate grants. This week, we've got several of our teacher interns, or teachers that are interning with a program with the Chamber, and Ashburn City Schools is involved as well, where teachers get out into businesses and shadow workers and employees in the business community. So it's such a vital link between business and education. Can you talk about that a little bit, and what that means to a school system to have that kind of a relationship?
Well, the link really starts with the community, and then it bleeds over into the chamber, and then it bleeds over into the different businesses. But as superintendent, what I get a great feeling about this community is I do believe that businesses and community leaders are pulling for us. They want us to be successful. They're pulling for us, and that's a tremendous feeling. You ride through a community, and when you can have that feeling, then it's a natural feeling, and it's because of what I hear in the community and the support. So the Chamber's been very involved, the business has been very involved, so these internships with these teachers going to these businesses, wow, it's a great opportunity for them to get a picture of what's going on a daily basis in these businesses. And you never know when that conversation happens in a teacher's classroom. The class is over, the children are going out of the room, and then a child stops and starts talking to a teacher about an interest. How powerful is that for a teacher to have a first-hand experience of manufacturing plant or maybe they've been to a healthcare site or whatever. The flip side of that is, we had this Principal for a Day program that the Chamber has been very involved in, and that's the Asheboro-Randolph Chamber, and it's been very involved. And we've had that at least 2 years. I know 2 years I've been to programs at the end of that to hear people kind of report out what happened. And it's very interesting to hear the people in the business community talk about, wow, I spent a day with a principal and I never knew. And it's not, I think we have a great situation here where no one's saying, I go back to it, I think everybody's pulling for each other. And so our educators are getting to see what's going on in these businesses, and they're better equipped to have conversations with children and guide children. You know, maybe sometimes they're not waiting for the child to ask the question. Maybe they've seen something in the child. The counselor sees something and starts the conversation. We know that happens. But then you have business leaders coming in and shadowing principals for a day and saying, wow, these are some real challenges, or this is a way we can help, or how can we help you? It's just exciting. The partnership's exciting, and I've just been very pleased with the Chamber. I've been very pleased with the businesses. Last fall, I had a call from a business owner who called me and just said, let's talk about internships. And I mean, that was just out of the blue. And that's one of many we get between Nancy and I. And so it's just exciting. It's internships for kids, that was. But just exciting that they're thinking of us, and we need to think of them, and how can we help them? Right. One of our big partnerships, in addition to all that, and it's I guess you could fold it into the Chamber, but even you may make a case that it's, I know they're probably members of the Chamber like we are. We have membership, but boy, Randolph Community College just continues to be a partner with us, and now, you know, with that, they've been a partner with Asheboro City. I think we've got a great partnership there with the three of us, the city system, us, and Randolph Community College with our Pathways to Prosperity, which again, the results of that are going to help the businesses, and the businesses have responded to that. So I just think we've got a very good thing developing. I think it's been developing for years, and it's just continuing to grow, and excited about, you know, when you gave me the list the other day, I was looking down the list of the teachers that were going to these internships. I was excited. I mean, that tells you something. They want to see something too, or they wouldn't engage in that program.
And as vital as those partnerships are, quite frankly, they're a little bit off the radar, I think, for some in the community. They don't realize some of the partnerships that we have, and we talked about the CTE program. Maybe that's been a little bit off the radar. So it's exciting to talk about these things and sort of bring them to the forefront. And I know included among those things that maybe don't get the recognition that we've talked a little bit about in previous interviews is our so-called hidden heroes. And, you know, we've got our own departments here that do such a tremendous job, but, you know, are they top of mind with those in the community? Probably not. And I know these hidden heroes are near and dear to your heart, so can you just share a little bit about what that means to you?
When I think about hidden heroes, I think about these individuals, and it's what people miss is there's some groups in our school system that if they didn't do their jobs, then when schools do well, those good results probably wouldn't have occurred. For instance, the learning environment. Is the temperature right in the school? Is the lighting correct? Well, that wouldn't happen if you didn't have a great maintenance department. Are the kids getting to school on time? That wouldn't happen if you didn't have a great transportation department. Are lunches and breakfasts being served as they need to? That wouldn't happen if you didn't have a great child nutrition department. And then the thing that's really driving a lot of things now is all the technology. And we have a great technology group. So, you know, I do worry, because they are near and dear to me. I've always valued them. When I was a principal, I mean, we'd have the maintenance staff come in, you know, and do things, and I always made time. I always tried to make time for them as a principal. I always tried to make time for my transportation group, bus drivers, and then the centralized transportation leaders that would come in, and mechanics and all, because I always knew that if we didn't have good people in those roles, and they weren't supported, and we lost them, we could be in a lot of trouble, because, you know, the technology group, what they do to make sure the servers are up, and what they do to make sure the network's working, and what they do to make sure that computers are ready for online testing and other projects that are going on, no one sees that stuff. You know, no one saw the ice storm back at the beginning of March 2014 when Dale Brinkley got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and turned all the servers off in the Randolph County School System because he was afraid what was going on with the ice could really cause us a major problem in the school system. Nor did they see the rest of his staff. No one saw the child nutrition staff when that ice storm hit. Marty Trotter, Larry Chilton's maintenance group was working with it as well. No one saw all the movement of, they were literally it was about a day, day and a half, schools lost power. And we had just had a delivery of food. And we stood to lose a lot of food. No one saw what went on with food being moved where schools hadn't lost power to freezers to make sure that didn't happen. Transportation. No one sees what Derek Clark and his group is doing. On the days when the snow hits or whether it comes up during the school day or in the middle of the night. And I'm just really proud of that group. The things that happen here. The maintenance staff, and again, I feel very lucky because a lot of these people were already here when I got here. So I'm lucky that there was great leadership that brought them in and great leadership to help them develop and feel supported. But there's 4 groups: child nutrition, technology, maintenance, and transportation. I'd put those 4 groups up with anybody, anywhere, as far as the quality work we get. And it's not just the quality of work. When you talk to them, it doesn't take long for it to come out in the conversation. You talk to them one-on-one how much they love our school system. And that's why their quality of work is so high. They have ability, but then the passion for making us as good as we can possibly be and what they're responsible for, it plays out every time. So anytime we can ever do anything to recognize them, we need to because, and Hidden Heroes, it's just, I think of them because they are heroes for our school system, and a lot of times people don't see what they do because it's not on the forefront, but wow, what can we live without them? No, we cannot. It's a great system because of them too. We have great teachers, great principals, great counselors, great custodians do great jobs at the school site, but these other groups, we could not go without their great efforts too.
Well, as we sit here today, it's July 20th. The first day of school, I believe, is August 29th, so we've got a little bit more than a month. Of course, our early college will begin here in just a few weeks. So just any closing thoughts as we here sort of heading toward the latter part of summer and as we prepare for a new school year, any highlights or anything exciting that you want to share with the community?
Yeah, Tim, a big highlight was June 20th. When the county commissioners approved our local budget for the 16-17 school year, and again they increased our funding. They have done that each of the last 3 years in multiple areas. They increased our current expense funding by $504,000, and I really appreciate that because when you look at the economic situation that this part of the state's in and the state as a whole, you realize how much hard work they're putting into trying to find us extra financial resources. Really appreciate them. Our Board of Education has been very supportive. I believe we've developed a great partnership with our board and our commissioners and our staff, and it's going to lead to some very positive results for our school system. And I hope the public has been following this because since the start of the 14-15 school year, the commissioners, even in some tough economic times, have increased our current expense funding, our annual current expense funding, by $825,000. And on the other side of the budget, our capital outlay funding, by this time last year, they had increased our capital outlay funding, the annual funding, by $750,000. In the summer of 14, they gave us $250,000 more dollars, and then last summer of 15, they gave us $500,000 more in capital outlay. So we have fully funded our 9-year facility upgrade repair plan for the school system, which includes things such as roofs and some, it's out on the web, roofs, some kitchens for CTE programs. We've replaced some bleachers at a school right now. We've got some other projects, athletic projects to do, but I'm just really appreciative of the hard work the county commissioners have really put in towards supporting us, and appreciate what I believe is developed a relationship based on trust and transparency, and we have a role in that. And we've worked hard to be very transparent and try to earn their trust and earn the board's trust. So, but June 20th was another exciting night. Again, I go back to they are putting a lot of work in supporting our school system. And so I just appreciate, and I just really want to say a big thank you to Mr. Darrell Fry, Mr. David Allen, Mr. Phil Kemp, Mr. Stan Haywood, and Mr. Arnold Lanier. Those are our 5 commissioners, and they, you know, I've enjoyed working with our board, and I've enjoyed working with the commissioners as well. And those 2 groups have been as important to my happiness, and my happiness is about this school system. It's not about me, it's about this school system and watching this school system continue to get better. And it's got to do with those 7 board members for Randolph County School System, and those 5 commissioners have a lot to do with what's going on here. So, you know, excited about when we get to the first day of school, we'll be excited to see the kids come back, excited to see the teachers come back about a week and a half earlier. I've always thought schools were a little odd looking when they're empty because they were built for kids and teachers, and so that'll be an exciting time as well. But June 20th really just added to the summer, and it's been that way. And I just can't say how much I appreciate those commissioners and what they do to they've kicked our summer into gear each of the last 3 summers, and it really helps things flow from there when they put that much effort into helping us get better.
Thank you again, and thank you to the community for allowing us to share with you, and thank you to Randolph Communications for this monthly opportunity to give highlights about what's going on in our school system. Thank you again, and we will see you in August.